I can't. I literally cannot.
Is everyone here?
Present.
Speaking without permission.
I'm assuming Corey's here because she's the one who initiated the call.
Corinne. Yeah, but like, let's not assume. You know, she doesn't like that.
That's true. Corinne, are you here?
Martin. I hear somebody smacking, so it must be her.
Corinne, are you here?
Oh, okay. Well,
maybe she's not here. I can't hear
Maybe
her.
She's not. I can't either.
I wonder if her microphone's working.
You know, because it don't be working sometimes. Let me chill out, because she can probably hear us.
She can absolutely hear us. You're going to be getting in trouble on your own on that one, partner.
I know. Yeah, you're right. Let me chill out. Let me chill out.
Is that you whispering in the background, or is that her?
Hey, I wasn't here. My bad.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
Hey. I really had to use the bathroom, so I excused myself after I invited you guys, and I was like, I could pee on myself and wait, or
always a vibe.
I can just use the bathroom and
Such a vibe.
do what they do. I'm gonna make it do what it do.
I'm gonna make it do what it do. Do it like it's your day.
Baby.
Well, Beth, you want to welcome us in?
Well, you know, it's a new year, new us. Not really. Welcome back.
You know what? I will say that I started working on the new year, new me, like in December. So like technically, like yes, but like I didn't wait for the new year to come, but like it's still a new year. You know?
Oh yeah. Well, I started working on the new year, new me in November,
in October,
in April.
I literally listen. It's the new year, same me, same bullshit. You're gonna just get the same thing.
Basically, that is like literally what we were talking about earlier. Just like one-upping people.
Well, it's a perfect episode.
But it was like so funny. That was a funny way of doing it. You know, that's a fun way.
I like it.
There are unfun ways, and we will tell you the ones that are unfun later in this episode.
But yeah. with that, I guess we can officially say welcome back to season 2 of.
Yeah, happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Thanks for joining us again for like another season of
another fun season.
Yeah, we appreciate all of you listening. So thank you guys for being here.
Yeah, we literally are about, I think we're like 2 away from our 100th follower. We got to do like a merch drop.
Yeah, yes. No, yeah, for sure.
So you guys definitely go follow us. I know a couple of you guys have been asking for the merch. We hear you, we see you. Definitely everyone go follow us. So when we hit that 100, it's coming for y'all.
We could do a little giveaway, you know, maybe.
Yeah, we're so excited, you guys. You guys have no clue how excited we are. Okay?
No, we are, because people comment on my merch all the time on my desk, and I'm like, they see me. They see us.
I feel so seen in that moment.
I feel so seen. Because, you know, people were really trying to downplay it. They were calling it my little podcast. And I was like, I'll little break your face. You know?
What if I break your face a little?
A little. You know, rearrange it real quick.
Just a little bit.
Just want to shift it a bit.
Yeah. My podcast. This podcast is big. Okay. We in 11 countries. How about that?
Okay. How about that?
Go. Because don't nobody know you in another country. They just know you in the USA. So sit down and just sit in your seat.
We're international. You don't know where we are.
We're no. I don't know the words.
Oh, I don't even know what song you were singing. I was like, I tried for a second.
International love.
Oh, okay. I thought you were singing "Jumped in the hoop to hoop to hoop." Okay. Anyway. So today's episode, we are talking about
toxic No, I'm just kidding. What makes people toxic?
Yeah, we're talking and just, we're going to shoot the breeze about toxicity. Are you toxic? Do you deal with toxic people?
Is your grandma toxic?
We're going to.
You know what?
Is your dog toxic? Is your baby toxic?
No, yes, actually mine is right now because he will not stay out of the room. He keeps coming in every door that's available. So this is my most toxic relationship right now. I literally
is your fish toxic? How's my man Micah doing?
Oh, he's good. He's still alive and still strong.
Wow.
We stand. Yes, Micah.
That's 2 children you've kept alive.
King of the show.
I think I have the hang of it now. Hey.
That first go around, I was a little worried there.
Well, the baby think it over doll in high school is actually.
Oh, wow. Baby think it over.
You know what? Baby think it over was toxic.
Baby think it over was toxic. You know what? I thought it over a lot. That's why I'm never going to have kids. I might have kids when I'm 40, but baby think it over did its job on me as well. So congratulations to your high school because their goal
they traumatized us.
They succeeded.
Oh, that was a toxic relationship for sure.
For sure.
That mom saved my grade because I was just like, this is not.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That whole thing, whenever like mom went in the room to take it out of the closet.
She was like, Samelia, put the baby in the closet.
Like, I can't. I need to see it.
Oh my
God.
God.
16-year-olds, should not
have children.
Babies should not be having babies.
You should not be having babies. Adults, barely should be having babies. So.
Because who are you lying to? I'm 30 years old. Like, when people are like, you want to make a baby? I'm like, no, it'll probably end up in the closet.
And they're like, what are you talking about?
I'm like, is that a threat? Is that a threat? Like, you want to make a baby with me? I feel like you're threatening me.
I'm going to get a restraining order now. No, yeah. So going into the first topic of today.
How do you guys define toxic?
Myself. I got Hendrix vibes over here.
Oh my gosh.
We're laughing because we know it's true.
She's quiet. The woman was too stunned to speak.
Okay. I define toxic as like, because I really don't know how to define toxic because I'm so serious, you guys. Like, I have some toxic traits, especially in relationships, but that has to do with like emotional trauma that I'm working on.
Yeah.
But what I find toxic is just somebody that, or something, or someone, I guess, that makes you feel either bad about yourself and not in a way that's like positive, not in a, like, if I go to you and I'm telling you about yourself in a way that's I'm trying to like implement growth, I don't find that toxic. However, if I go to you and I'm like, you're a crappy person because you're this and you're that, and it has no sustenance behind it, it's just kind of like, girl, you might be a little toxic, you might be a little crazy because all that, you did that for what?
So it's more like motive than it is like what you actually say or do.
Right. Like, it's because like my thing is, what's your intention behind it? Like, if I'm telling you about yourself, am I telling you this to hurt you, or am I telling you this to like get you to see how maybe you come across to other people and like work like to better yourself? And if you see something that I'm doing, like, let me know so that I can work on that myself. But if you're just coming at me in a way that's just like, where is this coming from? This is like out of left field. This is how you've always felt. That's toxic.
Yeah. What's happening?
It's maybe I'm like, I know Corey has something to say about.
No, she really does.
You know. I'm trying to get my thoughts together.
For the sake of this podcast, we are going to alter names.
I can't deal. This is my family, y'all, and I'm gonna stick beside them.
This my baby, and ain't nobody gonna touch it.
Yeah, Yeah, I definitely think that for me, I'm gonna speak from like my perspective. Like, I was actually just looking this up because there's an episode of Charmed where it's like these ladies and they like play the flute. I think they're called the Muses, and they like play the flute and they just skip around town like playing a flute and like, or like there's a flute player and they like just spread like joy and love all around, and like they just dance around the flute guy the whole time. Like that's basically what their job in life is. And so I feel like from my perspective, like that is what I feel like my job is to do. And so I feel like when people are like toxic, and to me it's like there's something wrong with their insides. And so it's like there's something that needs to be healed there.
Yeah.
And for me, I just feel like it's best if when people are being toxic, if you separate yourself. Like if someone does something to me and it hurts my feelings, I'm severing ties, because I don't want to be around you when I'm toxic, you know? Like
we talked about that this morning.
Yeah, I'm like
literally talking to you. She goes, girl, if I am not in a good headspace, run.
No, I'm like, you don't want to be around. To me, I think the most least personal people to want to be around are people who don't like themselves.
Yeah.
And if I'm in a place where I feel like I don't like myself because of something that you said, it's best that I figure out why I don't like it than to stick around and like let it fester.
Right.
And let me I'm becoming this person where I feel like, you know, I have to do all this stuff back when that's not in my like that's not something I want to be in my character. Not to say that I don't have slip ups, not to say that I'm not a human being, but for me, I feel much more at ease and at peace when I can lead in love and like not be like, because that's what we're all after. Like we're all after the same fucking shit. We're all after love, and it's not a competition because there's enough love in this world for all of us to get some. I guarantee you. It's just it's a big world out here, and I really want everyone to know. Like I feel like and sometimes I feel like people's minds lie to them, right? Like I know I'm very lucky for like the friends and family that I have, because everyone has such, and that's why I really like, I'm going to gush about our podcast real quick, everybody. But like, that's why I really enjoy doing this with you guys, is because like I was telling you that like second episode changed my life.
With the one about dating apps?
Yes,
girl.
It changed my life. I was like, oh my gosh, like for real. No, that was a true opinion.
No, it really did. It really did.
That changed my life. Yeah.
You do not have to be friends with these people, girl.
Absolutely not. Like, and so, yeah, I don't know. You guys just like, it's nice to have other people's perspectives, and like the perspectives of people that you feel like you can trust, and like, you know, wanting to be around people who you feel like you can make mistakes with and know that they're still going to love you past your mistakes and speak to you gently and like see you. Because that's my biggest thing, is like, are you actually like, if you calm the voice in your head, you could hear that my voice is not saying any of that.
Right. Like, why do you automatically, if you're automatically assuming the worst in me,
you're
talking.
You're talking. Yeah, you might not want to be around me, because like I don't want to make you feel no type of way, and you doing all that's gonna make me feel a way that I know I'm not.
Right.
And you're not gonna convince me that I am. So get away.
For me, I think for me, like the way that I see it, it's like, you know, because I'm always like trying to find the silver lining, and like,
you really are
with people. I'm like, but
you're like a Rubik's Cube.
What does that mean?
That's like a perfect way to describe an earth sign. A
Rubik's Cube. It's like, how many different ways can I see this? And you'll like literally sit there and methodically go through it until you got all whites on white, yellow on yellow. I'm over here like mixed up, conjumbled, like one, 2, 3. But continue.
So I think because I'm always trying to, like, I will legitimately, which is why, okay, I'm sorry, like my mind's all over the place right now, because like sometimes you'll be telling people about situations and then they'll be like, well, maybe, you know, they're like playing devil's advocate, and I'm like,
I hate that.
The devil doesn't need any advocates.
That's the number one rule, is the devil don't need no more advocates.
Right. And trust me, like I have sat with it and like looked at this situation several different ways.
Right.
Like they're like, well, maybe. I'm like, yeah, I can think about where they're coming from, and I still feel this way. You know, like it's taken me a long time to be like, no, I'm valid in my feelings, and nobody else has to agree with what my feelings are. But they're
it's the for me.
I think it's also like just piggybacking a little bit off what you just said, Samelia. I feel like it's also like, why do you want to? If I'm like sharing my feelings with you, I feel like there's a way to be like, oh, like this is another perspective of it versus like, well, actually your feelings are wrong. Like it's like you can offer perspective without
invalidating.
Yeah, especially if you weren't. Well, how do you know, Wendy? Because girl, the truth is you wasn't even there. You know, like, you know, the gag is, you know, keep, you know. But yeah, like that's how it's just like there's a way to talk to people and that doesn't invalidate them, but also offers perspective. Because
But in order for you to offer me perspective, you have to first hear what I'm saying, right?
Exactly.
Like, you haven't even thought about where I'm coming from. You're already trying to offer me somebody else's perspective. To me, I'm like, you might not be toxic, but the way in which you're operating right now is the way that I am responding to that. It's making me feel unsupported and misunderstood. And it's making me feel as though it's like you're not assuming the best if you think that I'm
like, you're not a safe place. You're not a safe person to come to.
You're kind of, so what I was saying before was that for me, because I'm trying to always look at things from like multiple different perspectives, I try to hold space for the fact that like someone can be toxic to me, but not a toxic person.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I'm not their therapist. I don't know what their issues are. But like, I don't care. And I think I used to like allow people to be in my life for prolonged periods of time. So I'm like, well, I know that they're not bad. You're not a bad person. Right. But it's like, actually, the question isn't if this person is a bad person. It's if this relationship is a good relationship.
Is a good one. That's crazy to me though, because this past weekend I was talking with my coworker about this because she's like a fan of psychology. I don't know what this particular thing is, and it piggybacks off what you literally just said about like sometimes a person isn't toxic, but how maybe the relationship with you is toxic.
Yeah.
And to me, have you ever had those people in your life where you're like, they've always heard that they're a good person, right? It's like, you're a good person, you're a good person, you're a good person. You can never do any wrong. So in their mind, they don't think that they can do wrong or that they can be toxic because they've always heard that they're a good person, not realizing that they have tendencies that are actually toxic because yes, you're a good person, but you still do things. You're still human. You still do negative things.
Right.
Yeah.
Girl.
Like there's a like this is off topic, but it's with Cheer. I was just watching that docuseries.
No, can we not go off topic? Because if I'm editing the episodes, I do not want prolonged episodes.
We're not editing, remember? We're not editing.
Well, you just said it was off topic.
It's still on the topic, Corinne.
Then why did you say it's off topic?
So with the docuseries Cheer,
like,
there was Jerry that was on there, and what he had done was like, he's this good guy that everybody was like gloating about, and it ended up coming out that he had done something that ended him up in jail, but he could not fathom that he was actually like a bad person. Like, he wrote a letter later on to Monica and was like, when I get out, I'm gonna be a motivational speaker. It's like, bro, you're looking at 15 years. I didn't
mean to laugh at that. Woo,
it's not funny, but it's like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, people that think that they can't see that they're possibly a toxic person.
Well, that they've done something toxic, right?
Yes.
Like, that's because they're like, they think that Brene Brown, right? She talks about how like you're not the things that you have done can be separate from who you are. So, right. Like, if you're like, I'm trying to think of a good example, like, of what she used, but basically, like, instead of being like, you're bad because you did this, it's like, well, you did this and this wasn't good, but that doesn't mean you are an innately bad person.
Yeah.
And I think because people are unable to like
separate. Like, yeah, like, you made a mistake, you like, perfect
made a mistake.
Example of like, you talked to me in a way I didn't like. That doesn't mean that I think that you're a bad person because you talked to me this way.
Right.
Like, that just means that like, when you did that, it hurt my feelings because I felt X, Y, and Z, and figuring that out and figuring out if that's actually something that's important enough that you need to write someone 5 paragraphs. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
She went there.
So, I mean, moving right along, copycat friends.
Copycat friends.
Oh, chill.
Oh my God, not 5 paragraphs.
Not 5 paragraphs.
An
Be on
essay.
Hendrix. That girl was on Hendrix.
Not
About the time
Hendrix.
that we went out to that
Not
Ariana Grande concert.
Hendrix. Not Hendrix. Anyway, so today's episode, you guys.
Girl, you down bad.
Down bad. So today's episode is
Today, John Headbutt.
So we wanted to open this up with a little bit or do we want to open it up with the hot topic? I feel like we can open it up with the hot topic, or do we want to end it with the hot topic? What do you guys think?
I mean, I feel like if we talked about like copycat friends, we can end it with the hot topic because it's like the example. I mean, unless you want to go straight into it. Is we into it?
Is we into it? Well, I just want to say, like, we were thinking about I was having this discussion because, you know, there's these celebrities that are getting engaged, and I happen to
that is.
And I just happened to notice that you know, there's a little bit of similarities in the engagements of these two individuals. And I was saying how, like, upset it may have made me to watch people that I considered like friends or whatever, they like copy me in such a blatant.
I mean, down to the outfit.
Yeah, like down to the husband's outfit, down to the fiance's outfit. That was like, it's like, whoa.
Oh, question though.
Yeah.
If they did it and did it worse than you, are you mad?
No, that's what I said earlier. I said, oh my God, what in the Great Value Walmart freaking.
What in the Foot Locker? What in the Foot Locker?
What in the McDonald's hamburger?
I think I would only be mad if they did it better than me. If it was worse than mine, I'd be like, you know.
Not Ray J. I did it first.
No, I did it better. It's different.
Oh, I did it better. Yeah. No, I think
I would still be upset for sure. I think I would.
Well, you know me. Y'all know me. I'm the type of person that runs a little hypothesis. And if I feel like somebody is trying to one off myself, but I feel like people don't try to copy me blatantly. I think that they do it like they won't say that because they know I'm just such a vocal person. I feel like people copy me and they know not to like blatantly do it.
Yes, Blair Waldorf.
Yeah.
She said, it's better to be feared than loved. Period.
Exactly.
Period.
Like, don't cross me.
Yeah, I think that people blatantly like do that because they like, to me, it's a respect thing. And I think that just goes perfectly into what you were just saying of like, you will speak up and be like, absolutely, I'm not tolerating that. Right. Whereas like, I feel like, you know, there are some people who probably won't, people feel like they can get away with it because you won't say anything.
And it's like, come on, girl.
Because 9 times out of 10, the person who was copied is probably not going to say anything.
No.
She's not going to say anything.
It just reminds me, you know, in Clueless, where she's like, are you slumming through my laundry?
Rummaging through my laundry?
Yeah, like, whatever.
Like, I say ambular. No, literally, she is ambular. She is the ambergular.
She is ambular. Like, whatever. Like, I would ever wear anything from Judy's.
And that's exactly how they would talk to each other.
Oh my gosh.
Like, it's just crazy to me. I'm like, wow. Like,
so like what makes me like look at that is like, is their friendship toxic? You know, because I would think that, you know, like does it like sway on the line of imitation is like this most form of flattery? Because like, I'm like, I don't know. That's a little just like, it almost felt like I got a cake and you went and got a wedding cake.
Yeah. It's like, don't you want your own moment? Don't you want your own special moment?
Or like trying to get engaged at my wedding. I would kill you.
Oh no, yeah, no. We're not doing that. Okay.
Absolutely not.
Not doing that. I mean, I think it also it could have something to do with the fact that, like, you know, like Courtney is older, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's the older sister. And like, so Corey and I were talking about this the other day. Like, when people copy me, it doesn't bother me as much because I had like 2 people who copied me my whole life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, it doesn't bother. Huh?
I said, and did.
And did. And so it doesn't bother me as much. And so I wonder if like birth order and what you're used to. Whereas like you and Corey grew up so close, like. And like Corey didn't have her own voice for so long because you would just speak for her, that it's really important to her now.
I think that it is though. No, Smelly, I think you're onto something.
Samelia's onto something, really?
No, she is. Because look at it.
Saying it for
no,
longer.
girl, shut up. Shut up. Boo, tomatoes. Anyway.
Tomatoes. You're like, no, Somalia, I think you're onto something that Corinne's been telling me for years.
No, Somalia, I really do because like that is like it's interesting to hear because I love like mom used to match Corinne to me. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Corey hates that. Corey was like, I'm an individual. I want to be myself. Literally to the point that Corey came downstairs the other day and my friend was over and we had the exact same outfit on and we went out like that.
I know, she told me about it.
I loved it. I loved every minute of it.
Yeah, and that's what she said. She's like, Beth loved it.
Like we literally had this like same exact Skims top, same exact leather pants. Like we wore this same outfit out. And we had a great time because we looked good.
People copycat friends are toxic to me.
Well, I feel like that, like the did you hear my evil laugh? That was my like stalled, like I'm gonna snap laugh. No, but I think that like, yeah, it goes a lot deeper for me, like being copied. It is a psychological thing for me. I do have an individuality complex. I'm very aware. I don't need anyone to psychoanalyze me. I've been with me for 25 years, 27 years, 30 years. I've been here, you know, I go to therapy. So thank you, but no thank you, everybody.
I was gonna say shout out to your therapist, but she might be asleep. So.
She's definitely asleep. She's snoozing. Shout out to you, girl, though. Thanks. Appreciate it. I hope you got a good nap in, okay? But yeah, all love. Please send my files to someone else, though. Yeah, I just think that, like, yeah, I think that, yeah, for me, like, copying goes so deep, and I feel like that's why it's, like, a respect thing of, like, yeah, I didn't really have, like, much of my own personality as a young, like, child, and so, you know, I was either duplicated on Samilia or Beth, and so it's important for me to be, like, you know, have my voice be heard and stand confident in that, because if you don't have experience or, like, years of practice of, like, getting to be yourself, you're a little bit, like, delayed, so, like, you don't really realize that you have to, like, speak up for, like, what it is and, like, saying, like, no, this is who I am, because your identity has been attached to so many things that were never really you.
Yeah.
So you have to, like, go back and find your center and be like, what is me? And so because I had to work that hard, and people don't know that about me, like, I think they just, you know, they just got here. Of course they don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But I think I make it seem when you meet me like you've known me forever, because I'm an oversharer.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, yeah, so I just feel like for me, it's about respect. And that's why I was so quick to, like, when I saw that engagement, to be so angry on behalf of, like, the person who was being copied. Because it's like, I'm like, we've all seen her abuse in the media, you know, like her relationship, like the toxic stuff that she went through in the media with her family. And so like with her individual family. And so yeah, I just think it's like we all watched her sort of really struggle to get her children's father to, like, you know, shape up, and that was really hard for her. And so this was her redemption. Like, this was her chance to be like, you know, there is somebody who's going to love me for me, and, like, I don't have to, like, try to force or beg anybody to love me.
Yeah.
And to, like, watch someone sort of copy that is like, you miss the plot, girly. Like, I think fame means more to you than you realize. I think, like, you want to be seen and, like, cool, I guess.
Right.
I suppose, like, okay, I guess you have to just let it go, because some people just really want to be seen, I suppose, and they don't really think, like, it could, and, you know, and it could have been a coincidence, but I don't think that it was. I'm sorry.
No.
I don't think that it was.
That's why the SNL skits. That's why the SNL skits would make fun of them the way they do, because it's like, y'all are literally, it's like a publicity friendship.
Yeah.
Do you really
think
that?
Wait, we actually got engaged. Like, this was not a stunt. It's
Yeah.
like,
Right.
you guys actually, like, don't get, you know, like, it's almost like MGK and Megan did not get the hint that this was not a stunt.
Right. For them, it was like, she's, you know, making this man feel comfortable and alive again. Like, these are two people who, like, really went through some stuff, you know.
Like, homeboy almost died in a plane crash, never rode on a plane until he started dating Courtney. Courtney literally got dragged and humiliated and cheated on publicly, and then the man dated, like, her children, basically.
God, it's not her children.
Her children.
Like, the girl
Not
he was
her
dating,
children.
Sophia, was literally younger than Kylie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like literally,
Weird.
it was like Mason's 10, Sophia was like 13.
Yeah.
Scott was
So
really out here being a whole monster.
Weirdo. Very
Weirdo.
weird. Very weird. Yeah.
He has Peter Pan syndrome.
Had her sitting at family dinners. Like, is anyone else concerned about the child sitting at the end of the table?
It's like
Anyone
the kids' table's
else?
over there.
Like, oh,
So
no,
then
I
do
know.
you think that like, okay, so do you, when you have friends that are like copying you,
Mhm.
like imitating you, does that automatically make that friend toxic, or like is it an unhealthy friendship, like, or
Yes
does
and
that
no.
not mean anything?
Yes and no.
Okay.
And the only reason I'm going to say yes and no, the friend that I had that was over here the other day that matched with me, that was great. Like, we both planned on it. We both, like, were comfortable with leaving the house. Like, we made sure everybody, like, before we left, I was like, are you okay with me wearing the same color? She said yes. I said, cool. You know, there are friends that I feel like will watch you get something. Like, there's someone around me. She's not really a friend, but, like, I have to be around this person. Not because I want to, but because, like, I have to.
Yeah.
And when I got my Gucci bag from you guys, the first thing they said was, I'm going to go get a Gucci bag. And it was like, okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I was like, that's weird. That's some weird energy, because it's like Corey said, there's love for all. Like, I don't understand why me getting a Gucci bag makes you feel so strongly that you have to tell me the day that you find out that I got something that you're going to go get something too.
Yeah.
Like literally how Courtney felt. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Really interesting.
Yeah. For me, like, the copying situation also, I'm like, and it goes even deeper. I'm water. Drown.
I'm air. Suffocate.
I'm earth. Drop. I'm just not open. You can open. Earth can open and close when it wants
Earth.
to.
Quake.
God, these sounds quaking here. Yes. Oh man. But yeah, like, even like for me, even like being compared to other people is like also something that really like makes me uncomfortable. And I think it does go back into like copying, because if someone's doing the same thing as me, like, I don't like how you guys were saying, like, does it matter if they didn't do it better? And like what you're saying makes so much sense, but like for me, I don't like, no, like
Corey doesn't care. Corey's like,
no, she's like, the general principle of the matter is that I was the one who created it.
Yeah.
But
it just
I actually think, and I just from like Corey's situations, I wonder if those people would have properly like given you your props, like, you know what I mean? Like, if they would have acknowledged, if they would have acknowledged that they were inspired by what you did, if that would have made a difference. Is it more about the fact that people are copying you and not giving you the credit, and it's like, well, hey, wait, renegade.
Yeah.
Or is it about them copying you just, you know, on general principle? Like, what do you think it is?
I think that it's like everything's a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. Nothing's original. We're in the year 2020 BC, post-corona, post-Jesus Christ, 2022, girl. Traumatized. They say you stay in the year you're traumatized. Girl, we're traumatized. Who can relate? But no, yeah. So like we're in, we are far out. So I understand that there is going to be overlap, but I think the general rule of like creativity and inspiration is that you find 5 people to imitate, so that you're not just like copying one person. If you find 5 people to imitate, you can take this one's arm, this one's legs, this one's eyes, this one's nose, and you will not look like anyone else, because you put those 5 people together and you gathered inspiration from those people, and now you look original. But if you're just copying one person, you're being a copycat.
So it's the erasure, really. Like, if you're just copying one person, you're kind of trying to be them and act like they don't exist.
Yeah, which is disrespectful.
I feel like people can't copy me because I got too many damn personalities.
That is quite possible.
They can't keep up.
I'm like really trying to think about it. I don't think people can copy me, because it's like I wake up and I'm like, who am I gonna be today?
Yeah.
Pulls
No,
rabbit.
that's
Pulls
fun.
It's fun for me though. It really is fun for me. Like when people like don't know who they're gonna get, I'm like,
But it's like you don't know who you're gonna get. You just
I
wake
don't.
up and you're like, all right, energy, tell me what's good.
The energy today is bad, bitch.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow I could be like, quiet and like mysterious.
Yeah.
Right.
For 20 minutes.
Yeah, I was like, I want to be mysterious so bad, but I can't shut the hell up. I cannot stop talking. Yeah. Yeah, 1000%. I think I just like it. Yeah, I just see it so disrespectfully because I think that I learned that general rule of creativity like very young. And so I think I just forget like sometimes that like people not everyone has been taught that. Like not everyone was lucky enough to like have people in their life to speak like wisdom into their lives. And
to tell them the truth. That's say what it is. They don't have people around them telling them the truth.
Well, you never know. I don't know.
That's why they feel compelled to write 5-page paragraphs.
Yeah. We don't talk about Bruno.
I didn't even.
We don't talk about Bruno.
I cannot. So yeah, go ahead, guys, get into it. I haven't seen it yet, so I can't get into it. Yeah. But
yes, you can because you can get into like what we're the thing that we're
I'll listen. I'm a listener. Yeah. You guys go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean that means the things that we don't talk about. I guess if you guys have seen the movie Encanto, then you know that it kind of touched on a lot of like things that were toxic within the family, and because we don't talk about Bruno.
And like intergenerational trauma and how that like affects the family system as a whole.
Yeah. I think that like there was something I read about because I don't know who y'all related to. You guys should leave us a comment and let us know if you have any toxic friends or what you feel about copycat friends, but also which character, if you've seen it in the movie Encanto, that you most relate with, because we talked about this. I just feel like I related to Bruno, and the reason I related to Bruno was the guy. Like I am somebody who speaks their mind, right? And like Bruno made a joke about, oh, it looks like it's gonna rain. He was just trying to like make light of the fact that it was his sister's wedding day. Like, she controls the weather. A hurricane comes. He had no control over that, right? But he was blamed for it. And I think a lot of people that they're cursed with the burden of insight. This is something that I read.
That's a word.
They're cursed with because like the other one had the curse of she had the burden of strength. And like Bruno has the curse of insight, and people shoot the messenger. So it's like my entire life, it's like people like they want to see the bad so bad in me, and it's like, well, is what I said wrong, or did I tell you something that no one else is going to tell you?
Yeah. It's interesting that you're like, it's the burden of insight and the burden of strength, because it's like I feel like some like the things that are our greatest weaknesses are also our greatest strengths. Like I feel like, certain powers that people like, I know that sounds weird to say like powers, but just like certain things that people are tapped into.
Yeah.
Like I was listening to a reading. I like to watch readings. I think they're fun. And
Me too, girl.
She was saying like, because you can already see, you're expecting it to be here, not realizing like just because you can see it doesn't mean it's already here. Like just because you saw it doesn't mean like you snap your fingers and it works. You don't, like it's not. It is magic and it's not. You still have to. You still have to work for it. You still have to like do the things that it takes to get there. You're not just like, you still have to do. But I feel like because people see that you see it, or they see it themselves, it like. They're already reacting to as if you have it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So
they're like mad at you. So they're mad at you and they're like, upset with you without realizing you still have to do the work to get there. Like you still have to do work. It's not like you just get to be there.
But that's why people.
It's like Princess Mia.
Yes, but that's why people throw that's why people throw like tomatoes and everything in your way because they see it before you see it.
Yeah.
But when you have insight, you can see it before you can see it maybe at the same time as other people. Like you see your things, I see my things, I see the visions over Celia's life too. And it's just kind of like, I'll never forget the day that I was telling my friends, well, they're not my friends anymore, but I was telling people that I used to be around, this is what I see over my life. And I already know that this is coming and I'm just waiting for it. And they scoffed. And I was like, well, you don't have to believe it. But when I'm doing what I'm doing, don't look at me because I am not letting you walk with me.
You know, I just saw it. I was like looking at like a TikTok compilation, and it was like, what's something that you like learned in your life that you like is helpful that you would want to share with other people. And someone was like, if you are afraid to speak about the things that you want to happen in your life, you can't be mad if they don't happen.
Yeah.
Right. And so like there was a girl, she's like,
Preach.
water polo player or something. And she like she was like offended by this younger water polo player who came up to her and was like, I want to go to the Olympics. And she was like, she kind of like scoffed at her, and she's like, who are you to like think that you can go to the Olympics? And she's like, and guess where that girl went? She went to the Olympics. And I didn't go to the Olympics.
Yeah.
So she was like,
that's funny.
If you don't feel like if you think your dreams are too silly to speak about, you will never accomplish them.
Yeah.
At all. Period. Yeah. Like, I can't tell you how many times people have told me my dreams were too big. Like, they're like the whole, and it goes back to you That's and crazy. Corinne. It's crazy. It goes back to you and Corinne giving me inspiration. I mean, I guess I'm the copycat friend. Say what it is.
You're not a copycat. You do your own thing. Continue.
Yeah, but I made my vision board a few years ago and was and still, even the vision board that I made last year, I have manifested things off of this vision board that I'm like, yo.
When I tell y'all the vision board situation is real.
It's real.
Side plug, please check out the shop Gilded. That is Semelia's business venture. She makes these amazing, her and her business partner, both amazing, beautiful women. But Semelia, both amazing, beautiful Black women. Semelia and Cherie just posted this really cool vision board. Like if you go to their website, you can like very, very easily, like it is so easy.
Yeah.
Make a vision board. Yeah. I recommend everybody check it out, and we will put it on our Instagram so you guys can, you guys know where to click and check it out. But yeah.
But you got plug within the plug, girl.
Yeah, make a vision board, guys, because really what we're saying is the power of your words and the power of what you believe and the energy you carry around. Yeah, can take you where you want to go.
And if you just believe, you get clear on like the things that you want. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Start to see them in your life, and then you start to feel it, and then you're like aligning yourself with the things that you actually want to see in your life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And that's why Bruno was a gift. That's why his gift was so important, because even though he like went away to protect Maribel, because like that's the only reason he left. He went to because he was like, look, this is
don't explain it. I haven't seen it.
I'm not telling you anything that you're not gonna see, girl. And trust me, when you watch it, it's not the same as me talking about it.
Okay, better not.
Because in the first 5 minutes, you're gonna start crying.
You're gonna start crying, and you're gonna forget half the movie. Promise.
Oh Lord.
And I mean hard crying. Like my nose was stinging.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay, go ahead.
So that's why it was just so great, because it was just like, what he could see over his life. He went and stayed away to protect them because that's how much he cared. Yeah. But like he knew at the end what it was gonna. He knew it at someday he was gonna come back with his family. That's the crazy thing. The whole time he knew that one day that she was gonna save him.
Yeah.
It's just
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she basically ruins the movie for me, but it's fine. I'm gonna still watch it.
I promise you I didn't ruin it. You're like,
the interesting thing to me, I'm like,
I love you, Beth. I'm sending you a kiss.
I'm trying to pick my words carefully so I don't ruin it. But I think it's interesting how like it's really about interpretation, right? Mm-hmm. Because a lot of the things that he was predicting, it was about interpretation. Like, you know what I mean? It was. So people were labeling him as toxic, but he actually wasn't toxic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was actually a good friend.
Yeah, they like labeled him as a scapegoat because they didn't understand his visions, because they were afraid of them. And it's like, look at yourself. Take a look in the mirror,
Look inside.
I think that a lot of people do that though. I think a lot of people are so afraid to look at their own toxic traits. Like, notice how in the beginning I was like, I'm toxic. I know that I am, but I know that I'm do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people will be like, I'm not toxic, and I'm like, ma'am, ma'am.
The very fact that you said you weren't toxic is toxic.
It's toxic.
Yeah.
Leave that woman's husband alone.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, what is that from?
Where are we going with this?
Where is that from?
No, it's not from anything. It's just like people be like, I'm not toxic. And I'm like, ma'am, I know what you're doing on the outskirts of this. Like, you are toxic.
Yeah.
What do you think like, toxic trait is, Beth?
Oh, what my toxic trait is?
Yeah.
I don't trust people. I don't trust people. And I know that that's toxic because it makes me spiral. Like, I literally went to Corey earlier today and there was a guy I was talking to and we kind of ended things and we ran back into each other and kind of confessed that, like, you know, the feelings were mutual, that we like miss each other. And immediately I woke up this morning and I said, his birthday's coming up. That's the only reason he's trying to talk to me right now.
Beth is literally a Rubik's Cube. Just bends her. She's just getting herself all out of order. She said red, yellow, blue.
Literally
green.
Like the Rubik's Cube. Like I was jumping to so many conclusions. And I feel like in turn, because I don't trust people, because a lot of people have mishandled me because of insight, like Bruno, they shot the messenger when it was like, all I was trying to do is like, you know, be there for you. And you took that as me, like, as a different way. And that's because you see the, like Corey was saying earlier, like you were saying earlier, you see the negative in me. And I'm not even trying to be a negative person to you. I'm not even a negative person.
But I think perspective wise, it's not about you. It's about them and how they move through the world. Because if you like, don't take that deep breath that we took when you were spiraling earlier, where I was like, all right,
chill out.
Like go and breathe through your nose, out through your mouth. Let's like, because I started to get a little anxious. I was like, I need some water. Let me get some water. But like, like it was just like, it's like, I feel like you have to go inward and be like, why do I feel like I don't deserve to feel happy and like to feel because someone did something bad to me? But it's like, you know better. You can't know what you don't know. So you know now. You know better now. So that when you move, you can be like, okay, I'm gonna note this. But if it gets a little bit, if you call me to help, I have to go.
Wow. You know? Wow. She said, I'm airing everyone out today.
You just got blazing. Oh my God.
But you know what I'm saying? Like you know what's gonna be when you keep practicing your boundaries, you will be like, okay, and you crossed it, and I don't have to tolerate this. And like basically the advice you gave me, I don't have to be friends with you.
Right.
I don't actually have to be around you if I don't want to be. So
facts.
What about you? What about you, Sam?
Oh, I don't know. I think that I'm very guarded. I don't know if I would say that's fully toxic, but like,
is this generational trauma? No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
I don't think it's generational as much as it is like people really are rotten in the inside.
I think it's more experiential.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because I'm like guarded and open at the same time, so I don't really know how that like works. I don't trust people.
Swinging door.
I watched that movie the other day. It's a good movie.
It just takes me a long time to like try. So like I don't trust people, but I feel like it takes a long time for me to learn how to see if you're actually trustworthy. So then I'm like, is that toxic or is that just wise? You know, like
yeah. Okay, Kanga.
Okay, what?
Kanga.
Okay, Kanga. No, yeah, I see what you're saying.
I mean, I think it could be a form of like like not saying because I don't think that I mean, but then again, I'm not in your personal like relationships like that. I'm your sister. So it's like I don't really see either of you as toxic. There are certain things that we have all done that are toxic that I'm like, you're crazy. Yeah. But I'm proud of you because I condone it. I stand, you know?
Not I stand.
But I don't, like it goes back to like you're good people, but we all, I think everybody is capable of something toxic.
I think that I think the most toxic thing that I've done in the past is allow people to push me past my boundaries.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. 1000% not having boundaries.
Is Wayne Brady gonna have to smack a bitch?
Right. Like instead of like allowing, like being like, actually, you know, this is what I need. And like, if you can't do that, then that's fine. like in setting a boundary and walking away, I'm like, how can I contort myself to, you know, like influence this person to change the way they're treating me?
Yeah.
And that was toxic to myself. And it ended up being toxic to the other person, right? Because then I'm responding in ways that are not true to who I am, that are not healthy for me. And it's just like, that's toxic.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
I was gonna say, very Cancer sign. Beth is gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, you fucking Cancer sign bitch." This is what she's gonna say. Because I was gonna say, sorry, everybody, shield your ears real quick. Oh wait, I already said it. I already cussed. But
It's okay. I said
it. But I was gonna say at first I was gonna be like, I have none. I have no flaws. I'm perfect. But I do believe that. But I
don't let me start name dropping the other signs that rock with you.
We rocking with Mark. Wait, what other signs?
The other Cancers. Don't let me name drop them because y'all are toxic.
So anyway, I don't know how we talk about copies and I ain't like these hoes. I'm original. But yeah, I think that I get really insecure, and I think that once again is an inward thing where it's like, why do you feel like you know, like, and I think that it probably does come from trauma of like
copycat shit.
Well, yeah, just like the outside world of like people not knowing how, like, very much so, like kind of what somebody was saying, like boundaries, not knowing what my boundary is, and like people like being so open and like a little bit desperate, and a little bit pick-me-ish, that I'm like, pick me. But it's like, you don't have to do that. You are the prize. Like, you are the prize, you know? Yeah. Like, you just sit down and, like, I guarantee people, like, when you figure out what your energy is, like, you can be more intentional with what you attract. Because right now you're attracting any old thing, and that's not what you want. And it's because your energy is saying, like, pick me. You're not really concentrating on who exactly you want to be in your space and energy. And so, yeah, I think that sometimes I tend to let outside life influence me and get like, I want to like charge the bull before I've like had a second to like sit down and figure out.
Sit down. Your nephew won't sit down.
He's toxic.
But yeah, my toxic trait is that I won't sit down. But yeah, that's mine. And I think that's actually like a really good place to finish it up because we are getting closer to the hour.
Yeah.
This was a really awesome episode. We say that literally. Okay, I feel like that
should be our outro. This was like a really awesome episode.
I'm gonna get myself a sticker that says that was a really awesome episode.
No, that needs to be a new merch alert. Merch alert.
I really do enjoy like the conversations that we have, and you know, that
because they're insightful, and I love that they're like it's off the top, off the dome,
off the dome.
You know, it's not like it's not pre-recorded. Like we are literally like, this is straight from our brains to your ear.
It's a simple message, and it comes from the heart.
It comes from the heart.
Believe in yourself. That's the place to start. And I say, hey!
What a wonderful podcast today.
Hey! Yeah, this is awesome. You guys, make sure you are subscribing to us wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you're following us on Instagram so you get to see all the fun stuff. We like interacting with you guys. We like hearing from you guys. So that's why we want you to participate. And we're almost to 100 followers. So when 100 people are following the podcast, we're going to be releasing some merch. So you guys don't want to miss that. Or you do. I don't know. I don't know your life. But we would love if you came over. With arms wide open. Sorry, I heard a fourth voice. He's not in the budget. You're gonna have to.
Wow, you're already say hello. Say hello.
Hey,
stand up. Don't get shy now. Come on.
Oh, he got shy.
Don't get shy now.
Don't be shy.
Welcome the fourth cast member.
You know, the unofficial cast member. You know what was so pressing for him?
What?
Can you make me some popcorn when the podcast is over? And I'm just wondering why you couldn't wait until the podcast was over and you asked me that.
It was
it's giving toxic. It's giving toxic. Copycat.
It was pressing. It's giving copycat.
Well, no, you don't want to say anything.
Outro us out, buddy. tell the people we'll see you next week.
They will see you next week. Say it. Do you want to?
Yo, bye, people.
Exactly.
And straight like that. It's over.
And with that, we love you guys. We'll see you next episode.
See you next episode.
Bye.
You're nice, sweet, smooth, like cocoa bread.